94%. We wanted to hear from the parents of the teens you just met, so we invited them into the studio to talk, and we began with an experiment to see just how hooked their kids were on their phones.
We asked, I know your kids to not use their phones for this weekend. I think only a few of them were actually able to do that. I want to show Gina's reaction when you told her not to use her phone.
Are you crying because you can't have your phone? Gina, are you crying? Are you upset you can't have your phone for 3 days?
She's recording you.
Yeah.
I take pictures and send them to you.
Amy, did her reaction surprise you?
No, that was actually a calm version. The first time that I told her about that, she really cried a lot harder. I was like, wow, it's really that important to you that you did just shut it off for, a day. And so.
Does it drive you all nuts how much they use the phone?
It does. You just feel the life being drained from you. It just sucks it right out of you because they don't have any way of communicating with you. As soon as you take the phone away, then they actually talk to you. They tell you about your day. They tell you about what they've done or what's going on.
Sociologists don't use the term addiction for some. Do you think your kids are addicted to?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. This is pretty universal. I don't think I think about it.
Jonathan got in trouble, and his phone was pulled away from him for like 2 weeks.
Wow.
He literally went into depression. His mother-in-law watched him every day. He mowed, didn't want to speak. His mood was foul. And finally, at the end of that, when he got his phone back, it was like we turned on a light switch. So that's how powerful all of this is.
Beyond worries of addiction, one of parents' biggest concerns is online predators.
A lot of people follow me that I do not know.
We played Gabby's video about followers she didn't know for her mom and the group.
But I just let him follow me. His username is .hot69. Anyway.
And she's got more than 2,300 followers, and it's interesting because she, about a month ago, she posted a picture of herself, sunning herself. Whether she was aware of it or not, with a click of a button, any one of the followers could access geolocation data to know exactly where she was. Does this kind of stuff, it's got to frighten you, it's got to worry you.
Right. And I'm a parent who probably over monitors, social media, but the geographic location is something that I'm not very familiar with, and so that is pretty terrifying.
Yeah, you can turn it off. It's a thing you can actually easily turn off. But that's got to be one of the things. Just keeping up with the technology has got to be so worrying.
I've asked him to, do you know all your followers? Of course not. Because yes, the more followers you have, again, the status, it looks good.
The need for status or popularity was something these parents were very aware of. The lengths that some of their teens were going to achieve it, that was a surprise.
It does seem like a lot of kids are posting stuff that they think will kind of boost their social status, but it's not really who they are. And Jonathan is an example of that. He referenced marijuana like 7 times. He said at one point about, we can't actually show the graphic of a picture, but he said, most of these bitches in Rodney Thompson, Middleborough, goddamn, you dirty bitch, you dirty bitch, you dirty bitch. And that's actually kind of one of the tamer parts of it. And again, that's not any different than what a lot of kids are saying out there, so I'm not zeroing in on him. But when I asked him about it, he basically said it's about kind of adopting a persona that's not necessarily, he's not going around saying this in real life. Do you monitor Jonathan's postings a lot? Do you worry about them?
I would say, like any parent, I don't monitor him as much or as deeply as I would want to. They're not, those type of things I would find distressing coming from my son.
But and what's interesting is, to me, that's certainly not the Jonathan I just met, and it's not Jonathan you know.
It's not the Jonathan that I would have conveyed to you.
Right.
So that's something that definitely raises my eyebrow, and you'll probably catch that on camera later too. But yeah, that's where that causes concern.
And that's not all to be concerned about. Many teens use social media to cry for help when they're lonely, when they're sad, when they're angry.
Simone puts a lot out on social media. I just want to show you some of the things that she posted. She said, "I just need one good friend I could tell everything to." A later date she posted, "I don't have no type of friends. I really hate this school." She also posted, "I really want to choke that girl, sling her across a bridge." She also said, "It really gets to a point where I just want to burn bodies." Does it surprise you to see her putting that out on social media?
Yes, but I can understand her frustration. We moved a lot, military family. I was in the military, father's in the military. So moving around a lot, she's only had maybe 1 or 2 years with friends, and then we're moving again. So then you're learning somebody new, the school is new, the friends are new, the area is new. So you get to a point where people don't understand you.
Sometimes being 13, it feels like no one understands you. And that's where good parents like Simone's mom really make a difference. Just a note, I've done a lot of reporting over the past few years about kids who commit suicide after being bullied online. And that's why our team of child development experts who we were working with examined all 150,000 posts. We had a plan in place to notify parents and schools immediately if they saw any red flags for suicide risk. Thankfully, that didn't happen. Coming up next, I'll sit down with experts who can help both teens and parents understand just how to navigate this brave new world of social media. And you just heard some of their parents talk about the frustration they feel trying to raise their plugged-in teens. So we wanted to give families some practical information, what to worry about, what to let go, and how to use social media to deepen their relationships with their kids. We turn to Dr. Underwood and Dr. Ferris for some answers. Aaron, you say it's not social media that kids are addicted to, they're addicted to each other. Explain that.
I think they're addicted to the peer connection and affirmation that they're able to get via social media. So it's not the screens, it's not the devices, it's the access that social media gives them to each other, to know what each other are doing, to know where they stand, to know how many people like what they posted, to know how many people followed them today and unfollowed them. So it's the peer connection, the affirmation, and the reinforcement that I think is highly addictive.
Your report compares social media to kind of rocket fuel for teens, that it accelerates. Can you explain what that means?
Yeah, so it's highly combustible and it's flammable, and it accelerates the degree to which kids form their own self-image, have feedback from peers that strongly informs what they think, how they think about themselves. And I think that's a lot of what they're addicted to is they're addicted to each other, but they're also really addicted to the image of themselves as it is reflected in the eyes of their peers. And so it's really about figuring out who they are. And I think these platforms really speed that process up in a way that's truly new.
There's another phenomenon that people have written about since the 1960s called the imaginary audience. Adolescents walk around believing everyone is scrutinizing their every move. Well, this is the imaginary audience come to life.
So what's the message for parents who are watching this? What can a parent do?
I think two things are really important for parents. I mean, first of all, I think we need to talk with our children about their online lives and what social media platforms they're using. And if we see them just frantically tied to their phone, something's going on. Say, hey, what's going on? Is something wrong? Is there some kind of problem? We need to get them talking to us about what they're doing online, and that should start really early, as soon as they get on these platforms. The other thing that I really believe parents should do is sign up for these services themselves. They need to understand how they work so that they'll know more about the impact on their children. I also believe that they should be their children's Twitter followers, Facebook friends.
So bottom line, for parents, sign up, know what these sites are, know what your kids are doing, and have ongoing conversations with them about it.
Talk to them. I mean, kind of help them navigate the digital street.
And encourage them not to try and keep score. Don't sweat the small stuff. Don't worry if you're not tagged. Don't count likes. Just, don't exclude other people. There's a lot of things that could make social media a little healthier for kids.
I think parents can just help kids remember that it's possible to have fun in other ways, that there are other things that are important and interesting, and just use the strength of your relationship with your child to get them away from it periodically, not as punishment, not by ripping it out of their hands, and just remind them, if it's making you feel bad, you can just put it down for a while.
I gotta say, I'm glad I'm not 13, and I'm glad I don't have a 13-year-old right now. I mean, it's a lot of